This is the tail end of Orton's career. He's paying it forward at this point. He's like, okay, hey, what do I need? Okay, I'm still casting that check at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Me putting over Cena, bet. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so at the end of the day, and plus it's Cena, you know what I mean? They've rivaled, they respect each other as peers, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so if anything, I have no doubts in my mind that Orton would have zero issue with putting over Cena clean.
Not only do I think he'd have zero issue, I think he would suggest it.
All right, let's talk about Backlash preview and predictions real quick. We got 3 matches as of this recording. Let's start with Pat McAfee versus Gunther. Who you got, Vince?
God, bro, it's so hard to call because you just don't know what they're going to do. If it's me, I'm having Gunther destroy Pat McAfee. If I'm writing the show, that's what I'm doing. Will they do that? I absolutely have no idea.
Maybe it's the glutton for punishment that I'm receiving right now by saying this. But there's a part of me that feels like WWE may make the logical decision to have Gunther obliterate Pat McAfee. However, it does go back to what's going to get the pop of the fans and how that controls so much of the creative directions within these daggone matches that it's sabotaging the product. So therefore, the more realistic side of me, based on what we've seen, is they want Pat McAfee to do a moonsault spot or a come from behind spot, at least one of them, even for a little bit. And so I don't think it's going to be an absolute squash. I do think Gunther is going to win, but I do think Pat McAfee is going to get way more offense than what he should be.
And then, bro, when they do something like that, what's the message they're sending out that drives me crazy? Anybody can be a wrestler.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't matter. Anyone can go in that ring and wrestle, and that drives me nuts.
Yep. Next, we have Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria. Do you think that they'll put the Intercontinental Championship on Becky?
Again, do I think they will? Yes. Does that absolutely kill Bird Lady? Absolutely, 1,000% in my mind, yes. What gets her over is beating Becky Lynch. That's what gets her over. Again, Chris, I don't see them doing that.
There's a part of me that think they see more money in the trilogy match between those two, because they'll assume that people know that there's a pedigree there when it comes to the first match of Lyra versus Becky Lynch in NXT. Lyra did mention it. Lyra beat Becky Lynch for NXT Championship. So they'll integrate that as saying, okay, Lyra beat Becky. Now Becky beats Lyra for the Intercontinental Championship. They'll use that to book some type of trilogy match coming up, probably Saturday Night's Main Event or some other, minor PLE. I can see that happening, man. Yeah. So we have Cena versus Orton.
You know what's so funny about you all these years that I've been working with you, bro, like that? I don't think people understand because you're very low key. Bro, I would say 99.99% of the time, you are so nonchalant about what they're going to do, and they always do what you say they're going to do. And bro, you never boast about it. But I've listened to you enough on these shows where it literally is like somebody gave you the format. I swear to God, like, bro, you're never wrong about these things. Like, you're so in tune with their habits and their history, and you always know like exactly what they're going to do, and you're always spot on, bro.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
It's the truth. I mean, it's the absolute truth.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that very much. All right, let's talk about Cena versus Orton. One last time. I think they're booking it as last time ever or something like that. Vince, who you got, man? Cena or Orton?
Bro, please. It's such a joke. Like, seriously, guys. Like, at least make it a first blood or something so there's color.
Exactly.
Like, do something. Like, come on, man. Like,
yeah, add some stakes to it. Yeah, I mean, I think what should happen in this space is Cena beats Orton clean, because if you're trying to,
I agree.
Again, people are starting to cheer Cena because they want to put themselves over, right? So therefore, what do you do, at least for St. Louis, to get all the heat on Cena? You have Cena beat Orton clean.
Yeah.
This is the tail end of Orton's career. He's paying it forward at this point. He's like, okay, hey, what do I need? Okay, I'm still casting that check at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Me putting over Cena, bet. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so at the end of the day, and plus it's Cena, you know what I mean? They've rivaled, they respect each other as peers, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so if anything, I have no doubts in my mind that Orton would have zero issue with putting over Cena clean.
Not only do I think he'd have zero issue, I think he would suggest it, Chris.
Exactly.
I think he would suggest that. I really do.
100%. Absolutely. And I think that's the way to go. I mean, you want to get the long game is Cena. The long game isn't Orton. You know, the long game is Cena at this point. And Orton is a veteran enough to know that. You know what I mean? Like, he's not like, hey, well, let me get this. No. He knows the long game is Cena. And so therefore he's like, oh, absolutely. I'm fine with that. You know what I mean? So put the heat on Cena, have him beat Orton, and just move on. I mean, that's basically where we're at.
Bro, how many weeks away is this that they only have 3 matches?
It's as of this taping, is next weekend.
Wait a minute. They have one more. They have one more Raw, and they've got 3.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Well, you know how Triple H's booking is, man. Each match is like 39 and a half minutes long.
Yeah.
And the entrances are
plus
like
the 39 minute entrance, and hey, we got a show.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, it was 7 matches a piece for WrestleMania. It was a 4-hour event. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's where we're at right now with Triple H's booking. It's just like, man, why do we have all these long not every match has to be a long match. Like Pat McAfee versus Gunther. Personally, no longer than 5 minutes. I mean, no longer than 5 minutes long. Yeah. There's absolutely no reason in any world that you form that Pat McAfee versus Gunther should be more than 5 minutes long. And if I was back there putting that run sheet together, man, I would say 5 minutes. Pat McAfee versus Gunther, 5 minutes. Whatever agent wants to take over that, figure it out, but they got 5 minutes. And so you might as well make it good for Gunther. So.
See, even something like that, bro, if I'm writing that show and this is Attitude Era, like even something like that, bro, I'm having freaking McAfee, you know, he's challenging me. Here's what I'm doing. If I'm Gunther, I'm going out when Pat McAfee's making the challenge, and I will accept your challenge. But if I beat you, I get 5 minutes with him, Michael Cole. What happened to things like that, Chris? Yes. What happened to things like that?
Yep, 100%. And that's again, like I always say, Vince, stakes.
Yes.
I mean, those are the threads that make still psychologically to this day. Those are the threads that makes people still stay connected. Those are those tie-ins. Those are those dots connected. Give me something. Give me a reason. Give me buy-in, man.
How many times did the baby face get 5 minutes with Heenan?
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
How hard is that to do, man?
Yeah,
really,
absolutely. Yeah, you would have the manager in the cage hoisted up, and then the baby face would win. The cage would come down. The manager's trying to get away and run away. And grab them,
and then bro, one step further. This is how you get people over. One step further, Gunther is mauling him. He's already got McAfee laid out. McAfee's immobile. He's mauling him. Who comes out to take freaking Gunther off of Michael Cole? Enough.
I got an idea. Who do you think?
Ludwig.
Kaiser.
Enough, bro. Enough. You're going to kill him.
Yep.
This is how, like, it's like, bro, you got a plant going this way. You do one thing, now roots start going this way. You do another thing. Now you've got this, this, bro. And this goes nowhere, Chris.
Yep. Yeah. Spot on, man. Absolutely. But it'll give some people some pops, though. That's
exactly. Was that your Bill Cosby, bro?
It'll give some people with some Jello.
I never saw that before, bro. You pulled out the Bill Cosby on me.
Bill Cosby, man. Pulled out the Bill Cosby, right?
Very nice.
This guy right here is Vince Russo. I'm Dr. Chris. This is Writing with Russo. Have a good night, everybody. So